reinforcement learning works. So this is the way actually human learn. That is a kind of trial process. Okay. So main benefit is that what we got from the reinforcement learning is that it allows you to step away from the training on static datasets. Instead, you can work in an environment of dynamic environment or noisy environment. Okay, so that is the advantage of reinforcement learning. Now, coming to the last part, that is deep learning. And deep learning, you already seen that is a subset of machine learning where we use neural networks. This is a class of machine learning algorithms inspired by the structure of human brain. Well, deep learning algorithms use complex multi-layered neural networks where the level of abstraction increases gradually by non-linear transformation of input data. And in order to train such neural networks, a data scientist needs to have massive amounts of training data. That is a limitation in this case. Okay, you can say limitation or you can say advantage also, because nowadays data amount is increasing. So it's not a complex task to achieve or have massive amounts of data. You will that is readily available. Okay, so this is due to the fact that a huge number of parameters have to be considered in order for the solution to be more accurate. Now, consider this figure. In the first case, you see that's machine learning. Input, future extraction, then classification, then output. This input, after through future extraction and applying the classification algorithm, you will get the output as either this is a car or not car. But in case of deep learning, you see that input, future extraction plus classification now combine here in this deep learning, and you readily get the output that this is a car or not car. That's the difference. Okay, in this deep learning case, we are combining this future extraction and classification process together. Now, if we talk about some practical applications of deep learning, they are like, speech recognition system. We have, say, Google Assistants, then we have nowadays very famous Amazon Alexa. And the sound waves here, how they work actually. The sound waves of the speaker can be represented as a spectrogram, and this is a time snapshot of the different frequencies. And a neural network that is capable of remembering this sequence inputs, such as LSTM. LSTM, long short-term memory. This can recognize and process the sequences of spatial temporal input signals, and it learns to map the spectrogram feeds to words. That's how this Google Assistant, or more famously Amazon Alexa, works. And as I have said, neural network here. So let's have an introduction on this one also. So neural network, the information is transferred from one layer to another over connecting channels. They are called weighted channels. Why? Because each of them has a value attached to it. And all neurons will have a unique number that is known as bias, and this bias is added to the weighted sum of inputs reaching the neuron and then applied to the activation function. And this result, that is the result of this activation function, determine if the neuron gets activated or not. And every activated neuron passes on information to the following layers, and this continues up to the second last layer, and the output layer in an artificial neural network is the last layer that produces the output for the program. So you see that in case of ANN, that is artificial neural network, it works on the basis of layers. First, you provide the input that goes through weighted channels, then through an activation function, we activate that, and all neurons will have a unique number that is bias. Okay, that will be added to the weighted sum of inputs reaching to that neuron. So in that way, at the last layer, we'll get the output. So this is the figure for this. You see, this is the input layer I. These are known as the hidden layers, H1, H2, Hn. As many as hidden layers you want, you can insert, but that will increase the complexity, no doubt. So output layer, this is the output. Well, so deep learning is a actually a subset. What actually we have learned from these three sessions of the same lecture, that is where we are trying to discuss the similarities and difference between AI, ML, and deep learning. So, what we have got as a summary, I can say that deep learning is actually a subset of machine learning. It technically is machine learning and functions in the same way, but it has different capabilities. The main difference between deep learning and machine learning is that machine learning models become better progressively, but the model still needs some guidance. If a machine learning model returns an inaccurate prediction, then the programmer needs to fix that problem explicitly. But in the case of deep learning, the model will do itself. Okay, the model will accurate it or correct it by itself. No need of interpreter, means no need some programmer where he or she will explicitly solve that. Okay, that's the difference between ML and DL. Now, automatic car driving, you already got, this is a good example of deep learning. And overall, machine learning and deep learning, these are the way of achieving AI, that is artificial intelligence, or imposing intelligence to a machine so that it will decide itself what to do for an instant input or for an instant actions. So guys, that's the difference between AI, ML, and DL. I hope you have got what I am trying to explain throughout these lectures. And if I succeed to solve your queries or to give insight of this very important session, then only say that, yeah, I'm very happy that I can explain these terms in a more insightful way. So, if you like this video, do like it and do share it with some needed ones. Okay? And if you like this channel, then obviously do subscribe it, because in near future I'll come up with such important topics, or those topics that are in current trends and important subjects or IT related technologies, those are in current demand. Okay, so for today, I'm terminating the session now. So get tuned. We'll meet in the next lecture, and that will be in very soon. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.